Well, I forgot about you. I put the dye on the edge there, and you'll see how I do that on the next part. But I've given it a little time to lighten up some. And then just like we burnished the original piece, we'll burnish this. Guess I need to go all the way up there. Put the moisture on there. And again, because it's a water-based dye, it acts different. I don't know if I can get it to where you can see good or not. Well, the better the leather, the better it burnishes. And let me get a little. These are the part you typically can't get to too well after you glue it together, so you burnish them all first. I really burnish the whole thing when I get done though. Okay. Alrighty then. Now we're gonna want to fold it over and glue inside of my lines I drew. And just to kind of help it fold, you add some water to her. Just enough to get in there. Soften it up a little bit. Don't get it so damp that you go to the other side though. If it goes through, it's no bueno. Okay. You catch me always drying my hands because you play with water. Well, you don't want to transfer any moisture to the other side, which is easier to do than you'd think. I'm just going to pre-fold that. Way I know when I put it all together that it'll work. Kind of pre-doing it, I guess you'd say. No contact cement. Barely see my line still because of that dye, but that's where the stitching will go. Little known secret, a lot of times on my holsters you can look down inside of into this area when it's done, and a lot of times you can see that line. After I sew it, especially if I had to really fight to get the gun in there. much on there. Not really a problem when you get too much, as long as you take the time to let it dry. I'm going to grab something. Off camera again. Whoops. There we go. And here's what I do. It's just a bar clamp. And that leather's wet in there. So I partially close it, lined up, because it's going to set for, at least 10 or 15 minutes. It may be a little longer than that while I work on some other stuff. And when we come back, I'll take that out of there, and this will be dry to the touch, tacky at best. Put her together, stitch her up. Okay, brought the holster over. She's all tacky to the touch. And it's just, you know, it won't stick to you. And you just never rush this, because if it's not ready, it'll wind up gumming up the machine. But ever so carefully, you put it together at the seam. And then walk her on down to where she joins up. And then this is just how I do it. When the camera's close, I just clamp it back and forth. You want to have a good bond, especially the edges, in my humble opinion. And then she's ready to stitch out. And this one has the black thread. And I didn't prepare nothing, so I just got to make sure I'm ready to roll here. That'll get me there. All right then. Well then. Find my starting spot. I guess my big old arm's blocking that, ain't I? I don't know how much of that you're going to actually see. For the sake of YouTube ratings, being a YouTube superstar, I'm going to try and position this to where it's a little closer without me messing up what I'm doing. Yeah, and okay, I think we can deal with that. But you're still, I think my arm's going to be in the way no matter what, so you're just going to have to live with it. You get what you pay for. And just stitch her up nice and slow. I don't think I've ever really messed up a holster while I'm sewing, but misplaced one piercing of the needle and it's going to be back to the drawing board. I don't think I've ever had this on camera, but you'll get to see something kind of cool. I think it is anyways, if I make it there. Okay. All right there, it'll probably get all marred up by the machine. This one may not. 1911 ones, it chews it up. By the time I wet mold it to the gun, all that works out of it. little marks. Because the camera's too close. Yeah, that wasn't the best closing in the world, but last stitch goes in, then you tack a couple more to lock the stitches. Just between me and you, I don't understand how that works. I just know that it does. Hey, come along. Hey, work with me. Let me back this thing up a little bit here. How's that? Well, I got some knobs. I ain't tight, I guess. We'll work with that in a minute. And you get all your threads just right. And you give her a clip. Some more of that army training coming in handy. You see those little marks right there? I guess maybe you can. Anyways, the foot on the machine does that when it squashes it. But it'll all disappear later. That will. Ta-da! Well, let's go over and do just a smidgen of sanding on it. It won't take much, so I'll do it with the Dremel again. Well, okay, I kind of changed the camera from the other day when I was doing it, and now I'm noticing all you're getting is Bam Bam's crotch. Sadly, some of the guys like it that way nowadays. Bam Bam don't fly that way. You gotta bat for the right team. Yeah, stand her up. Again, I usually do this on the drill press over there. Same result. Almost. Alright. Okay. I need a scrap piece of leather. Something right. Ever on the side, you're going to rock and roll a little bit here. I just do that so I don't mar up the back side of the leather. Don't usually can them this much, but this guy likes them canted pretty good. That ought to get me there. Hang on. Something fell. Okay. Made it through. Ba-boom. Alrighty then. Yeah, I'm just going to wet her up a little bit. Just a glance right there. That ought to do. Find my sanding block. Well, I don't know what I did with her. Is that what fell? Wait, since I can't find the sanding block, there it is. Right where it's supposed to be. No wonder I couldn't find it. And same as before, we'll let this dry a little bit. Put some dye on her. This time I'll remember to record that. That'll get us there. And that'll be it for a little bit. See you here in about 15-20 minutes. Alright, we're gonna put the little antique dye on there. I'll do another one of these sometime with regular dye so you can see how much difference there is in the process. I've thought about not doing antique anymore because it's kind of a pain, but it just looks pretty cool. Got a living tripod right now. That's Mrs. Bam Bam holding the camera. Got a feeling she's too far away. Antique dye, you gotta rub it off. Yeah, so gotta get it all down inside the loops. Well, I know what I'll do. It's gonna be a little sloppy, but it will wipe right off. I've tried doing this part with regular dye because it's easier as far as, you know, the edges. But I think the look is better with this way. Get it all off of there. Never know it was there. Don't really want the excess inside. Alright, we'll let that dry for a couple of minutes, come back and wet it up, burnish it up. Alright, we're back. Got the dye all dried. Edges are moderately well. But we're going to give it the burnish tour. And just wet them up. Put that water on there, make sure it dries into it, otherwise you fling water everywhere. And as we've discussed, water is both good and bad for leather. When it's where it belongs, it's good. When it gets everywhere else, it's no way no. And let's see if we can get up into that. There we go. And you can watch that gloss in it. All the fibers are expanded because of the water. And then the heat and the friction binds it all together. Get past this, it'll be tomorrow, but I'll put it in some warm water, get the leather all soaked up, warm it to the gun. Got a special thing for this. You gotta get the water right inside of the, moisten it up inside of there without letting it trickle down the edges. Because water is our friend and our enemy. Change the gizmo. One made for going inside of there. A stray piece there. Hardly ever does that. It would when I'm on video. That ought to make it. That piece way longer than I need. And next step, I just ain't got time tonight. Dunk it in the water. Mold up the holster. Won't be too long before we'll have her done. See you tomorrow. Alright, we're ready to take the holster and I'm going to dunk it right quick. This may be a little rough, but you can see it anyways. And I haven't done this one-handed, and I haven't need to get that out of the way. And I just got a pot and I warm up the water, just warm. Might be hearing my grandbaby in the background. That's the future of Bam Bam Industries right there. like to make sure right in there is pliable, so I can dig into the slide a little bit. That out there. Like I said, this is a water-based dye, so it plays a little funny when you goes to molding it, and sometimes some violence is required to get the gun to go in. While I'm doing this, you can take a gander at the gun. It's a SIG 250 40 cal minus the trigger. It's like the extra parts to a SIG 250 to shoot 40 cal. Come here, grandbaby. Come here, Levi. Say hello to the World Wide Web. Say hey. Hey. So now we got to mess around with getting that gun in the holster. Sometimes violence is required. If it's a blue gun, I actually hammer it to get it in there. Sometimes when it's extra tight, I actually have to heat up the water a little bit, but we're not there. There's quite a bit of force involved though. No way, no there. Well, this will be embarrassing. Yeah, it will, won't it? Don't want to bow that. I'm going to dunk it one more time. Where the leather's doubled there, it's pretty thick. Not real pliable. There we go. What I'm doing is flattening that part so the thing will go in there. Fixing to be home free. Well, ain't this just freaking hilarious? Yeah, we're getting there. It's not always this hard. Should pause for an intermission, come back and show you the deal when it's done. There. Well, this one's a little... Okay. Moment for teaching, Levi. Hey, grandson. As I made this exact same holster last week, and it wasn't this snug. Same pattern. I'll be right back. It's going to take it. Well, I guess I can show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is how we just say, it's going. I don't care what you say. There we went in. Okay, brief lecture here. Why is a form-fitted holster better? The struggle I just went through. That's why when you get your holster, it's plenty snug. And that's why you break it in and you'll get a fit that you just can't get otherwise. I see some of these guys sell, this is I'm gonna make it for the site channel. Some of these guys sell holsters at the gun show. Gun just glides right in. You give it 2 weeks, break it in, that thing's gonna be loosey-goosey. Now then, this gun is 3/4 of an inch shorter than the real McCoy. And it has a rail, so you can't have it real tight down there. Can't get carried away molding. Okay. Yeah, we're getting pretty close there. Sucks if you cut that too short. Boom. I cranked my Easy Bake up a while ago to about 90 degrees. And we'll set her inside of there, usually for about 20 minutes. And then come back and do some forming on it. You might get a shot of my grandbaby running around down there. Open up that side channel. Get one of the magic sticks. Little by little. This is a little tall here, so you can hit the thumb brake good. Still get in and get a full grip. That's an essential. Press that down. Yeah, then while it's damp, back side of the threads are the least pleasant. The way the machine works. A little rub-a-dub-dub makes the foot marks go away. But it's a little wet to really be cranking in on her. This one's going to be about 20 minutes. It'll be ready to come out. First little bit, I leave the stick in there. So, I'll catch you in about 20 minutes.